Hey guys, Zen here, and Rainbow Six Siege is a crown jewel, a core pillar of the Ubisoft business, and Year 7 has already come out stacked. In Season 1, we got a zombie, one of, if not the most meta-defining defenders in existence, and it also introduced the long-awaited attacker repick. In Operation Vector Glare, there's been the elusive streamer mode, and a brand new map, Emerald Plains. But that's coming to a screeching halt with Season 3, because this new roadmap has showcased one of the most lackluster and barren seasons maybe ever, only being beaten out by Operation Health, which had absolutely no new content the entire season. Guys, they have changed everything, and something big is coming. And so this video has all the changes you need to know about and what to expect. But before we go any further, if you're experiencing less frames or lag in your ranked gameplay, then you should download Opera GX, because it's the browser made for gamers that doesn't hold you back. Guys, other browsers love to hog up resources and hold performance back on your system, but with Opera GX, you get GX control, which allows you to fine-tune exactly how much CPU and RAM usage is being used by the browser, which is critical in your FPS games. Also, there's the network limiter that limits the amount of bandwidth you're using so your games and streams stay smooth and steady. And then there's this, that glaring white light that's like being flashed by a teammate. With Opera GX, you can toggle force dark pages, and just like that, those super bright websites aren't as blinding. And one of my favorite features makes it so that I never need tons of apps open at the same time, because you get Discord and Twitch integration built right in. Just sign in and message your friends on Discord or keep tabs on your favorite streamers and when they go live on Twitch. And for you guys here on the channel, you'll see the latest video feature. If you click my link below, you'll see my most recent uploads in the GX corner and get easy access to go and check them out. If you want the latest on R6, it's a game changer. And while you're there, you never have to miss a great gaming deal again, because GX Corner has all the latest news and deals on all your favorite games. And so guys, click the first link in the description and go download Opera GX 100% for free today. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring, and let's get back into the video. So guys, when you think about Year 7 Season 3, there should be a few things that come to mind. The first is obviously a brand new attacker, and we've talked about this a few times here, but there is a leak that's made its rounds, and he's called Grim. Another thing that pops up is Ranked 2.0, the complete rework to the Ranked playlist that tons of players have been waiting for. And the Holy Trinity here would end with a brand new competitive map. A new, from the ground up map that won't just launch in Quick Match or Team Deathmatch, but a full-on, highly competitive new Siege map that'll be added to the Ranked pool. These updates have been talked about since the very beginning of the year, when they were announced at the Year 7 reveal panel. And these are some major updates that evolve Siege. But all of that, minus the new operator, are not coming in Season 3. In fact, because of this, Season 3 is shaping up to be one of the most empty seasons Siege has ever launched, maybe since Operation Health, which was a season dedicated to improving the back-end systems that preserve the game's future. There's a new roadmap, and here it is. Now, as you can see, in Season 3, the highlights are an additional competitive map, a new operator from Singapore, a small update to the reputation system, and the usual event and arcade playlist. The big new development here is the major balancing changes, which includes weapons, operators, and EMP devices. This is a huge change of pace for the season, as well as the Year 7 roadmap as a whole, because the other stuff has actually been delayed into Year 7 Season 4. So the new competitive map and Rank 2.0 will now be launching in Season 4, which, yeah, it's a great thing that they're still planned for this year, but it's at the cost of a season that's really light on content. Now, as for that additional competitive map being added, they did say a while back that the all-new map would be delayed into Season 4, so that was already something to note. But there's a bit of a mystery as to what this additional map will be, because Ubisoft came out and said this. Alongside the launch of this season, we let you know that the new map originally planned for Year 7 Season 3 would be pushed back to Year 7 Season 4. That being said, we wanted to share some good map-related news with you. Next season, we'll be adding a map to the competitive map pool. We're not sharing any specifics quite yet, but what we can say is that it's a map you've played before, it was part of an event, and you have never seen it in comp. What do you think it is? Now, if you go back through all of the maps that have been tied to events, most of them have already been competitive maps. Containment took place on Consulate, Money Heist took place on Bank, and Apocalypse brought us to Outback. And so all of those maps would be entirely out of the question. Then you have the custom maps that brought us Sugar Fright, Showdown at Fort Truth, and the legendary Outbreak event. And yeah, those have never been comp maps, but they were also never made to be like core Siege maps. And so really, that leaves us with the 6 Invitational Stadium maps. And for me, that would be an excellent addition, because for the most part, they're usually a combination of a few super competitive maps fused into one playable space. But even with how cool that would be, it's still kind of up in the air as to the exact map, because there's now been a few of those stadium maps, and so which one makes the cut is still a mystery. So as far as the map, it's a great thing that they're still adding something to the pool, cool because it'll give more options to the most important playlist in Siege. It should also be noted that a map ban overhaul is still in the works. Now, that doesn't seem to be a massive undertaking on the surface, and so if they're able to get that developed in time for Season 3, I think Ranked will benefit immensely from it. So yeah, it is an amazing news that we won't be seeing an all-new map, but at least there will be an additional option, even if I would have loved for them to re-add Fortress for a little nostalgia. Next up are these major balancing changes, and it's a bigger deal this season because of this, the brand new secondary EMP gadget that'll be coming to a handful of the operators. So it's exactly what it looks like, an impact grenade style EMP that'll take electronic gadgets offline for a short time. Now, with this thing added, the peanut butter and jelly combo of Thatcher and Thermite is no more. Now, two operators with completely different gadgets, say Buck and Gridlock, can take down a hard wall without the need of any hard breacher or dedicated support operator. Gridlock can toss the EMP secondary and knock off the bandit battery, and Buck can come in with the hard breach secondary and open up the wall. Without a doubt, this is making it easier for players to kind of play whoever you want and still take care of the fundamentals, like, well, taking down a hard wall or hatch. Now, we don't know the full list of operators getting this thing, but for whoever does get it, they'll be instantly better because the meta is super utility heavy and you'll have an answer to it as well as your main gadget to work with. But it's important to mention that Thatcher's gadget also falls under EMP devices, and so for Year 7 Season 3, there's also the Thatcher rework to consider. So it's no secret that Thatcher is the #1 most banned attacker in Rainbow Six Siege. No one has ever overthrown him, and it's because his utility is absolutely essential, especially with how many new electronic devices have been added. Thatcher is almost never available to play, and so a while back, they detailed the way they're positioning his rework, and it is interesting. So they've got this gadget working like Ying's Candela, where it'll now need to be cooked, and based on how long you cook it for, it'll explode with a bigger radius and be able to take out multiple gadgets. Thatcher's EMP has always been super simple, yet ultra effective at the same time, where you just click a button and 1 second later, every single gadget on either side of a wall just doesn't work. So they finally detailed the rework and introduced this new secondary EMP, and so Thatcher's overall value isn't nearly as amazing as it's been. The other major balancing update is coming to Finka and LMGs. The meta is currently dominated by both Finka and LMGs, and the crazy part is both of these issues exist on one operator. Like, Finka literally has it all, and so don't LMGs. Finka has an essential health boosting ability, self-revive, a super good LMG, and frag grenades. And then LMGs as a category have tons of sight options, high damage, and minimal recoil. But they have always been this way. LMGs really haven't been buffed in any meaningful way or given some big advantage like DMRs have, being able to open up hatches. Really, it's been because a lot of the standard assault rifles were nerfed repeatedly that LMGs just became the preferred option on the operators with them. And so LMGs are getting tweaked next season, and Finka will also be seeing change as well. And so these updates are really the only things to look for in Season 3, and honestly, the big balancing changes happen each new season, and so to be fully transparent, it's mostly coming with a new operator and an event map addition to Ranked. But to play devil's advocate here, Season 1 was a huge new season, with tons of changes, new features, and a new operator. And then Season 2 offered a similar amount of content, and midway through brought Emerald Plains, a new map. And so for one season to be pretty light, I can understand, but it does have me worried about Season 4. With Rank 2.0 and the new map getting pushed into Season 4, it means there's a massive list of content with the final season as a target. So that's a new operator from Columbia, the reputation system, Rank 2.0, an all new map, the permanent arcade playlist, and cross progression. Now, we're no stranger to delays because of course a lot of the Year 6 roadmap got pushed to Year 7, but I'd be surprised if all of that makes it in time for Year 7 Season 4. If anything doesn't make it, I think it's either Rank 2.0 because that's the biggest rework all year, or unfortunately, it could also be cross progression. Cross progression is the big one because so many people either want to make that jump from console to PC, or they were on, say, an Xbox One last generation and have moved up to a PS5 this generation and want to be able to move over their Siege career. Cross progression is the key to the garden for this to happen, and there are now tons of other delayed features that stand next to it. Now, recently, Ubisoft had an investors report, and in it, they revealed that contrary to some beliefs, Rainbow Six Siege is growing, and they're even seeing an influx in new players after the reveal of the Year 7 roadmap. They also said that Rainbow Six raked in 300 million when you include R6 Extraction, and that puts it up with Assassin's Creed and Far Cry as one of Ubisoft's pillars. And so with reports like this, Siege isn't going anywhere, and in fact, Ubisoft cares about it a lot. So for me, this news all accumulates to a pretty pretty simple answer. Ubisoft is now working on the next Rainbow Six Siege project. The resources and investment into the current version of Rainbow Six Siege have dwindled. Each year has seen delays in the roadmap, and they've admitted to Siege suffering from technical debts. With a 10-year plan, there's only so much time left to keep adding new things to this game, and so for Siege to keep living on, I think they realized that it could be time for an upgrade. Rainbow Six Siege 2, or the sequel to Rainbow Six Siege, is only looking more intriguing as time goes on, because it has the potential to be incredible. There's a new lead in the director's chair, an all-new narrative direction, and a massive community with an insatiable appetite for new content here. They're working on something big. And guys, if you ever wondered who the 5 best attackers are in Siege, then click on the video to the right. For the 5 defenders, click on the video to the left. It's your choice. Hey, I'm out.